All right, so what academics talking about? He advises Drake to beware of the boogeyman. Let's see what he talking about.
For 6 months because people like Drake isn't.
People gotta miss him.
Yo, newsflash, all Drake fans. Remember when I said round two and Drake even said round two? He not trying to engage with that fuck nigga Kendrick no more. Round two is him showing y'all that without the battle, this bum ass nigga Kendrick is just gonna be sneak dissing and doing a bunch of robotic weird dances. Drake is just a music maker. So here's what I'm saying. If Drake is just going on and doing him, giving the vibes to the bitches, whores, the lovers, the lover girls, the lover boys and simps, you need to separate your brand from this fuck nigga who keep promoting everything by doing some subliminal shit. Don't.
Well, yeah, you lose a beef. He told you, Kendrick told you, headshots for the year. It ain't even been a year yet. Y'all still got like another 6 months.
Drop a tour when he's going to the Super Bowl. Don't drop a lawsuit when he's motherfucking when he just dropped his album. You're helping this fuck nigga. That's why I'm saying you need to go back and just chill. Go cook up an album. It don't matter what.
I agree. I'm of the camp. You guys know, you watch my channel. I've been said, why don't Drake go do a movie? Drake is an actor by trade. Go do a movie. Go do a little cameo in the show. Make people love you in a different way again. Then once they start getting thirsty for that music, a year and a half, 2 years done pass, then you can come out with what you tried to drop on 100 gigs. Those songs is going to hit a lot better when you're not still in the midst of the Kendrick beef.
So this is what I'm hearing. So Drake supposedly in this $400 million deal, he had one more deliverable, which is the Party Next Door album. Now, prior to the beef in May, there was going to be a last project that would then catapult Drake into his next deal. It's like basketball. These guys are like restricted free agents, right? You don't let them become a free agent before you negotiate and lock them into another deal. What happens is when you're at your last project, y'all start talking. It's like contract year. Think about NBA. All right, you playing basketball. Sometimes they like, yo, I'm too injured to play.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know, when you're going into your contract year, like your last year, you're planning your last year and you want to negotiate, you want to renegotiate, or you want to show your value. Yeah, you negotiate prior to the contract ending, but it's going to be based on what you've done prior to that.
When it's contract year, you suck up that injury, you got to play because you want that bigger contract.
Yeah.
Here's the interesting thing. Before Drake could drop that and then potentially be a free agent, he's been negotiating. He's been thinking, I'm going to go get a bigger payday, maybe $600 million. The beef happened, and from what I've been told, the conversations have severely not gone in Drake's favor.
Well, it makes sense why it's not going in Drake's favor, because Drake still had good numbers, but the 100 gig stuff and everything after that, I would assume that hurt him because it's showing like, yo, you can't even hold the charts. During the beef, Drake charted. Family Matters was in the top 10, but I guess there are other things, there are other factors that like someone like UMG, the record label, will take into account when they're looking at how are we going to renegotiate with you. Now, if Drake would have won that beef versus Kendrick, maybe that's something they take into account. But it seems like the label, if what academics are saying is true, it seems like the label was watching to see what happened. And since Drake didn't come out on top there, they're like, okay, instead of 600 million, we could do 150 playing with him.
Upping or whatever, it's just not what Drake would think.
And I don't think Drake has been in a situation like this before. Even with Pusha T, which is the only other rap beef that Drake lost, he won all the other ones versus Common, Meek Mill. And these are big names. But Pusha T, that's the one he lost. And then Kendrick, obviously, he lost that one. But Pusha T, his strategy actually worked. What Drake is trying to do now with the just dropping new music versus Pusha T, that worked. Sure, Drake got humiliated in the beef. He lost, story of Adidon. But Drake went on, he just kept dropping music. And then, like a year later, less than a year later, he had that song, In My Feelings, Kiki, Do You Love Me? Like, he just drowned it out by dropping hits. And I think he tried to do the same thing this time versus Kendrick, but it didn't work.
What's he doing? But we just got to give him time. That's what I'll say, and that's what I see.
Okay, I'm gonna listen. You my man's facts, and I know you smart, so I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. Listen, now, I'm gonna give Kendrick some time. What I'm realizing, the Emperor might just have no clothes. Hey, I think Kendrick's doing a whole lot of capping. I think this is my personal opinion. I think Kendrick is a selfish nigga like the majority of niggas in rap. He just wanted to be number one. He realized the only way to be number one is to sell the whole culture on some Jay-Z shit. Like, yo, title is for us. Like, nah, this is how we gonna win. As soon as y'all all buy in, he sell that shit to Sprint. Okay, he get his money and.
I don't know. When niggas say stuff like this, do niggas actually listen to Kendrick's music?
Move the fuck on. That's what I think Kendrick Lamar is. I think Kendrick wanted to just be the rapper in the top spot. But he keeps saying, oh, yo, this culture of degeneracy. Niggas like Drake represented. This culture of, deviancy. Freaky ass niggas. You need to stay inside. Has Kendrick listened to modern music? These bitches.
Well, it's a diss record, so he's gonna go at the most obvious things. But I don't think Kendrick's entire catalog is based on anti-deviancy. Kendrick's music is his albums are generally about himself and his conflicts and with his own hypocrisy and pride and ego and things like that. Like the whole deviancy part was to get at Drake.
Is talking about how they suck like it's the bit, like they suck like it's fucking oxygen. You hear these whores, all they can tell you about is that they're on their tippy toes riding like that's all they do. Check out my my wet ass. Pause. That's how they're talking. Has Kendrick listened to what's going on? I want him to stop that party. Because the whores, the drug dealers, the fiends, and the goddamn drill rappers, they're never toning it down.
I agree. I mean, I don't like that type of rap anyways. Like, I said, like the other day, I said, I don't like these drug dealing, super sexual raps. I don't like when women do it. I don't like when West Coast rappers do it. Men, Southern rappers, I just don't like it in general. There are only few exceptions where I find it palatable.
They're going to tell us more and more. Yo, we've been sliding through their blocks, and they don't know we have. Buddy ass got, they've been telling you, I've been smoking these niggas. The police might have to come lock me up. That's what's happening in hip-hop. Kendrick can't stop that. Listen,
Kendrick himself will tell you he can't stop that. He is not your savior. These guys don't listen to Kendrick's music. He's not your savior.
He just needs to focus on his own shit. He makes some good jams. He could rap good. He rap with anybody. He's getting into the bag where he can make good songs. But let's him stop with this.
He's getting into the bag where he can make good songs. That's the thing. People listen to GNX and then be like, oh, he's finally making good songs. The songs on GNX, they're good because they're light-hearted. They're not very heavy. A lot of Kendrick songs are heavy. That's what's great about GNX. It's just like a break. It's a sigh of relief from departure from Kendrick's normally heavy, super content-driven music. But Kendrick has way better songs. How Much a Dollar Costs is that song is almost 10 years old. PMP, that song is almost 15 years old. These are all great songs that Kendrick has been written. Average Joe, HOC, ADHD. Come on.
Watch the party die. Yo, whore music kept this industry alive for 2 years while you were working out your issues getting touched as a kid, nigga. Whore music.
And here comes Akademiks coming with this. I don't know why he's so intent on, and this is obviously from the Drake's Heart Part 6 song. Oh, that's the one record where you say you got molested. Like I said, I've been saying it this whole video. These guys don't really listen to Kendrick's music. Because if you listen to his music, nowhere in Kendrick's music has he said he got touched as a kid. And the thing is, Akademiks knows this. You got to put the Don Julio down. You know what I mean? Let's think clearly here. And why are you so intent? Drake's question to Kendrick was like, why are you so obsessed with these pedophile raps? Were you molested? Now my question to Akademiks is, why are you so intent on that being true about Kendrick? Drake had that question to Kendrick, like maybe this is why you're so obsessed with the pedophile raps. But now my question to Akademiks is, why are you so obsessed on this being true? Like, why are you trying to twist this to be true so much? And it's probably not the best time to be we're not going to even go there. We ain't going to even go there.
Music was keeping the shit popping, all right? It's not going nowhere. That's a fact.
Yo, he's over there, yo.
Whore,
You just said it was gonna go away for six stuff.
whore music was the most popular shit. Check out their wet ass pussy. Realize bitch need to get fucked by the nigga. Put it on the flow. Meg the Stallion just basically telling you that she was slurp up a cup of Henny and slurp. What?
I don't know if horror music was the most popular because only a few female rappers can really sell records. Glorilla just started doing respectable numbers. And by respectable, we talking about 60K first week, which in no other time in music was that ever considered respectable. But for today's time, Glorilla just started selling. Meg, Her last stuff didn't really, I don't know if it made noise like that. Like the only female rapper selling records is Nicki Minaj and Doja Cat. Lotto not really selling records. The most popular rap, actually, Kendrick, Drake, Tyler the Creator. We can list them off quickly. Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat. These are the people, Eminem. These are the people that's selling the most record. And it's all not just freaky raps. Like most of them, J. Cole, most of them is not freaky raps. Cole, Kendrick, Nicki got some songs like that, but she's not like super linked on it. Or I guess she is now. She had the Super Freaky Girl song. But yeah, that's an overstatement.
You need to go away for 6 months.
You said what?
Then why you think you need to go away for 6 months? That's what you just said. You just said that before you start yelling and shit.
No. Those are two separate issues. I say Drake leans into that culture. You better tell him to get out of the U.S. He's suing UMG, and this comes up. It's not a coincidence. I'm gonna be honest with you. I not only agree with you. I think we're gonna see things about Drake in the coming months, in probably a year or two, that you've never seen before.
If that embassy get raided, people gonna have Meet the Grams on repeat. It might chart. Meet the Grams might chart if the embassy get raided, like how Kendrick predicted in that song.
I think when you start barking up the wrong tree, the really easy way to calm you down is to
humble you,
let you know how protected you were.
Yeah.
For example, if you are a big celebrity, I knew I got to a certain point when, trust me, if somebody's around me right now, they slip and fall, they're ready to sue me. There was a time that nobody wanted to sue me, right? And I'm not just saying that bragging, because actually it's not a good thing. But I'm saying that because all of these people, including Drake, you know Drake previously settled a sexual assault lawsuit, right? These are things that he buried, and it never became anything. And it probably was cap anyway. But the point is this: Drake kept pretty much a very clean image until this battle.
Yeah.
I think that's going to stop. I think we're going to see people come out the fucking woodworks. And I think some of them are going to be seeded by maybe people that don't like Drake, or maybe the people he's going at, UMG.
Sure.
And when I mean UMG,
Sure.
I don't mean UMG directly, but people who have interest with that, right? That I think Drake's reputation is going to go through the mud.
And then you got to think, why is Drake even suing UMG? Why is Drake doing all these petitions for a lawsuit? It's not because he actually feels wronged by UMG, like the law, like he audited them and then they're taking money. No, the reason why he's the core, I'm sure Drake feels wronged, but the core is that Not Like Us was a knockout blow. And Drake can't understand why he lost that numbers battle that he was never supposed to lose versus Kendrick. Remember what Drake said in the push-ups, number-wise, I'm out of here. You not creeping up. Number-wise, I'm not, no matter what you do, you're never going to compete with me in terms of numbers, charts, sales. Kendrick proved that wrong. The whole reason why Drake is suing the core is because Not Like Us was so vicious. If Kendrick makes those same accusations in Not Like Us, but Drake comes out with a better song and Not Like Us is kind of buried, like how we think of Taylor-Made Freestyle, like it's kind of just buried in the history of the beef. It's not one of the main songs. If Not Like Us ends up getting buried in the alternate universe, do you think Drake goes and sues UMG for anything? No. If Drake wins that beef, no. And he's doing the Super Bowl in February and he's dropping an album and it do 300, 400, 500K first week. Do you think Drake is suing UMG? No. The whole core of the reason, and let's say Akademiks is correct, like, Drake, when you sue these entities like UMG, they are going to use every weapon in their arsenal to take you down. Let's say that's true. The core of the reason is because of Kendrick. Like, Drake is potentially going to unravel his good favor, his public image, and potentially his rap career due to Kendrick. Not Like Us. And I say that because, like I said, if Drake wins that battle decisively, he is not suing UMG. He's suing UMG because he feels UMG gave Kendrick an edge by boosting the streams and payola and all this with Not Like Us. And if you read the petitions, he mentions Not Like Us by name. Like, this song was defaming me and they helped boost it. That's like kind of the core of the lawsuit. Now, is there something deep? Could there be something deeper there? Like, yo, Drake, he was trying to re-up with UMG, and then UMG, they used Kendrick as a catalyst to boost his songs to make Drake look like he lost the battle to everyone publicly so that they can offer Drake 30% less than what they were going to offer him before, 60% less. Sure, you could say that. But Drake jumped out the gate and did push-ups because he wanted to. J. Cole started this whole shit with 7-minute drill. If J. Cole doesn't make 7-minute drill, does Drake feel empowered to just jump out the window and start taking direct shots at Kendrick? No, probably not. It probably would have continued. The Drake and Kendrick thing would have continued like how it's been continuing for 10 years prior to that. Sneak this here, sneak this there. Years go by, another sneak this here, another sneak this there. That's how it was going. So Drake jumped out. It's not like UMG made you diss Kendrick. Drake jumped out. It was Future and Metro Boomin who collaborated on these We Don't Trust You albums, where it's an album full of niggas dissing Drake, and Kendrick was on one of those albums. And that leads to, and I'm going all over the place, I'm gonna get back to the video, but that leads to my other point. All this is because of Future when you think about it, because Kendrick is on Like That, which is the song that kind of popped it all off. It's a Future song. Future and Metro is making these albums where Rick Ross, A$AP Rocky, The Weeknd, Kendrick are all dissing Drake. But Future gets no smoke from Drake. Drake wants to be friends with him.
And the point is this. When you get to the point where they're now evaluating his relationships with women, it's very much a possibility. Like, I don't want to speak nothing into existence, but I do believe we're going to see some shit pop out about Drake. You know why? Because sometimes the atmosphere breeds what you're going to see. The atmosphere right now for Drake breeds believability. If you're a woman who Drake ran through, which he ran through a lot of them, he ran through a lot of niggas' wives, baby mamas, sisters, cousins, all of that stuff. Some of these people are disgruntled. I'm not saying that means it's completely false, but in the era of trying, and this is why I mentioned that he had a situation that, he settled or whatever. You never heard about that. Now,
sure
because the atmosphere that Kendrick created and probably other people are going to be like, you know what? Let's amplify anything to do with Drake being seen legally as whatever, or being seen legally as he's not like us in terms of cultural, right? Or let's kind of hype up a story. Like, people file appellate briefs all the time, right? This is a big story that they're saying Drake might have been the killer. Why is this coming back around? That's a really shrewd way to.
I think he's talking about XXXTentacion.
We're going to bury this nigga also with headlines. And that's why I agree with you. In the next year or so, I think we're going to see lawsuits and stories, disgruntled chicks popping out the woodworks. And a lot of it is going to be because he went at UMG.
And then that's what I'm saying. Why did he go at UMG, though? Well, did he actually feel wronged by their business practices? Or was it really because Not Like Us was so vicious, and then that ended the beef with Kendrick? Like, that gave him his L, and he felt like UMG helped him. He felt like UMG helped Kendrick. That's why. Like, the nigga's really about to fucking ruin his whole career over Kendrick. Like, you didn't have to go out like this, man.
Not UMG directly doing it to him. But when you do buck at the system, you do realize that the system have protected you. I think that's one of the only, I don't know if it's a misstep yet because it's pretty early with what Drake is doing. The system protects a lot of people. And once that protection is gone, it's the Wild Wild West. I don't know if Drake wants to be in the Wild Wild West, but clearly he does because he's getting at UMG.
This whole lawsuit stuff, he's opening up a can of worms that doesn't need to be opened. Bruh, stop before, this house of cards falls on you. Just relax.
Is Drake cool anymore to make that music cool?
Okay, so you're not getting what I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you that where music at is right now, Drake never changed the music to be that. Drake adopted to that, right? Drake seen that. Drake started getting on the Yachty wave when he realized the young niggas started wearing baggy pants again, start looking weird, stepping like this, looking like a Drewski skit, and started making different type of songs. You know what he said? Yachty, bring your fucking red braids over here, nigga, and let's go make some songs.
Calling on Lil Yachty to make songs with you is crazy. Yachty is horrible.
He used to make Jumbotron shit popping. All right, let's go get it. Drake follows what's hot. And listen, I don't know if he think different, but he ain't no trendsetter neither. Kendrick.
Usually when you want to make music, you be like, yo, let me call Scott Storch. Let me call Alicia Keys. Let me call Kendrick Lamar. Or let me call Drake. Being like, yo, let me call Lil Yachty. What the fuck is you smoking?
Act like he finna change the culture, but I can't see what that fuck nigga done changed.
Well, I hear what you're saying.
Somebody said,
right?
I need to admit Kendrick is winning. Yo,
about the nigga?
He's pissed.
Just
He
address,
pissed off.
that Gorilla in the chat. We're not here talking about if Kendrick got the better of Drake in the battle. I'm saying, and I'm
that's
calling
obvious.
out what Kendrick is claiming that his movement is representing. If y'all just admit that his whole movement was to dethrone Drake, all right, cool. I wouldn't even. All right, bet you got it.
Yeah, that's the whole point of a rap battle. Ain't that the point of a rap battle?
When y'all start talking about this little nigga like he's a messiah, God wouldn't put a nigga who's 5'4" and call him Jesus. Trust me. Trust. Okay, that's number one. But number two,
Okay, short joke. Go ahead.
if y'all saying this nigga is a savior of all things, I'm asking you,
Who is saying he's the savior of all things? The people who listen to Kendrick's music, he is not your savior. Like, there's a song on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
besides the fact that he was successful in getting at Drake, what has he done to change music? Because the messaging in his music is
See, Akademiks is creating these platitudes just to knock Kendrick off of him. Well, y'all are claiming he's the savior of all things. No one's claimed that. No one who actually listens to Kendrick's music would say that. And then say, well, how has he changed music forever? No one's claiming that, bro. He just makes good music. Like, what are you talking about? Next one. Let's see.
jams. He could rap good. He rap with anybody. He's getting into the bag where he could make good songs. But let's him stop with this watch the party die. Yo, whore music kept this industry alive for 2 years.
That's false. Horror music barely even, like, these girls don't sell record. When he says horror music, he's talking about like Meg Thee Stallion, Ice Spice, Lotto. They're not the top selling rappers. The top selling rappers are Kendrick, Drake, Tyler the Creator, J. Cole, Nicki Minaj, Eminem. If that's horror music to you, sure. I don't know how you define horror music, but that's what's been selling the most. That's what's been keeping the industry alive, rap at least.
While you were
Doja Cat.
working out your